Hi, this is Craig Bell.
And this is John Perkins.
Every day, millions of people commit murder. Killing time, that is. Let's talk about that on Take 5.
Food for the soul, helping you to thrive. 5 minutes to renew your mind. Take 5.
So in the early 1980s, 33-year-old truck driver Larry Walters made international news. Larry had the habit of spending his weekends in his L.A. backyard, bored, sitting in his lawn chair. When one week he got the idea to tie helium balloons to his lawn chair to see if he could get it to fly. He went and rented a helium tank and got the balloons, attached them to his chair, went inside, got his BB gun. So his thought was he could float up 100 feet, take an aerial view of the neighborhood, and then shoot the balloons with his BB gun to come back down. He loaded his BB gun, had his neighbor come over, cut the ties, and begin to rise. The only thing, John, was that he didn't stop at 100 feet, but rose over 15,000 feet and was soon in the flight path of the airplanes coming into the LA airport. They began to radio in a man floating through the air in his lawn chair as they were coming into the airport. They sent helicopters up to rescue him. He couldn't shoot the balloons to come back down because he was hanging onto the chair for all he was worth. Eventually, they got Larry back down, and the news reporter thrust a mic in his face and said, "Larry, why did you do it?" Larry Walters thought for a minute, and then he said, "Well, you can't just sit there."
That's a good point, Brother Craig. I like that. You just can't sit there. So what are we doing, Bode for God?
It's time we do get out of our chair, so to speak, and do something bold for God, isn't it? Ephesians chapter 5, verses 15 and 16 says, "See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil."
That's good, Brother Craig. Redeeming the time because the days are evil. I heard something. It said that yesterday is a canceled check, and tomorrow is a promised sorry note, and today is the only cash that you have to spend. So spend it wisely.
Right, that's good.
In Matthew chapter 25, we read a story about man leaving talents to 3 people. One had 2 talents, one had 5 talents, and one had 1 talent. And the one with the 2 talents, he went and he worked and he doubled it. And the one that had 5, he went and worked and also doubled his. But the one, listen to what it says about the one that only had 1 talent. Then he, which had received the 1 talent, came and said, Lord, I knew that thou was a hard man, reaping where thou hast not sowed, and gathering where thou hast not strawed. And I was afraid, and I went and I hid thy talent in the earth. I think so many times we're hiding and we're wasting the time that God has given us.
Stuff we should be investing to further his kingdom, huh?
Yes.
You know, Benjamin Franklin said, "Dost thou love life? Then do not squander time, for that's the stuff life is made of." And that's so true. We have a tendency, John, to just sort of kill time, don't we? To waste time, as we say, when in reality, we don't have any to waste. People at the end of their life spend all their money trying to gain another minute of time after they've squandered so much of it in their life. What if you had someone give you $86,400 with the stipulation, John, that you had to spend it within a day and there was no carryovers to the next day? You would not take that lightly, would you? You would actually take great detail to spend every penny wisely, wouldn't you?
Yes.
But yet, we have been given 86,400 seconds in a day with no carryovers. You have to spend every one today. How come we don't spend them so wisely?
That's a great thought.
You know, there's a poem that I heard years ago that says, "Time by the moment slips away. First the hour, then the day. Small the daily loss appears, but soon it amounts to years." You know, it's reported that Queen Elizabeth I died in Richmond Palace. At the time of her death, she reportedly had a full inch of makeup on, trying to keep young. And her last words were rumored to have been, "All my possessions for one moment of time." That she would give everything she had to buy another minute. So, John, what are some of the ways that we can redeem the time for the Lord's sake?
Well, there's a number of ways we could do it, but I'd say very first we need to put God first, give him our first time, and then the leftover time we can do the things that we want to do. But let's always remember to put God first and to pray and to invite people to church and to go to church and to take time for him, take time for his word, take time for doing his will.
Hey, that's really good, John. I think that's what it's all about. You know, the challenge is to take the ordinary moments and redeem them into extraordinary moments for the Master's sake. It's that ordinary conversation with a friend or that moment with a coworker that we can speak up for God. Maybe it's that letter you've been putting off. You know, those things we've swept under the rug for another day. Today is the day. Let's start living to inspire people to come to God. Somebody once said, if we expire when we die, shouldn't we inspire while we live?